I love me some Nicholas Sparks. Fun fact about Nicholas Sparks and his books, I actually named my son Landon based on the character in the book and the movie A Walk to Remember. So whenever Nicholas Sparks comes out with a book, I read it. He was my favorite author until James Patterson became my favorite author. Nicholas Sparks doesn't write a ton. I mean, yes, he's got like huge books that have been turned into movies, but he doesn't have a new book coming out every 6 weeks like James Patterson does. So I wait patiently until he has a new book out, and then I hurry to buy it and read it. And the latest is The Return. Okay, first of all, something cool about this, if you are listening on the podcast, you might want to watch this YouTube video because I am going to show you something that kind of blew my mind that I thought was cool. So if you look at this cover, you may notice it's very Christmassy and does not look like the cover you may have seen before. And on the back, it says Happy Holidays. So when I got this book, I was reading the inside cover, as I usually do, and on the inside cover it says if you are gifting this, to flip the cover inside out. So this is what happened when I flipped it inside out. The book normally looks like this. This is the real cover. And I will say, if I'm going to be a little bit picky about the cover, I would have liked to see some bees here, some bees flying, or like a jar of honey on the porch. And when you read the book, you will understand why I say that. I'm going to put the main cover back on for this one as I continue my review. But just a little side note, I thought that was super cool because it came out, recently before the holidays. So if you're gifting it, you can have that cool little cover. Okay, let's talk about The Return. Classic Nicholas Sparks. It's a romance novel. It deals with death and something that he's been doing lately in his last few books. Safe Haven is one that stands out to me that I really like. And then the one, I don't remember the title of it, but in the movie, Zac Efron was in it. That one had a little bit of mystery. This one has a little bit of mystery and a little bit of suspense, which I like a lot. And this is what it's about. So you have a guy who, of course, goes to New Bern, North Carolina, where all of his books are set because his grandfather dies. There, he meets a woman, but there's some kind of thing going on with the woman where she can't totally commit to the guy. And while all of that is happening, there is a local girl in the area who seems a little suspicious. The guy in the book, his name's Trevor. Trevor comes to find out this girl had some kind of friendship with his grandpa before his grandpa died. But she's acting a little weird and she needs some help, and he's trying to help her and she's not being very cooperative. And while all of this is happening, Trevor is trying to figure out what his grandpa was doing when he died, because his grandpa lived in New Bern. He never left New Bern. But when he died, he was hours away in his truck headed somewhere. And on his deathbed, he left Trevor a little clue, and Trevor doesn't really totally figure out what he was saying until towards the end. So you have the love story, and you have the mystery with the girl, you have the mystery with what the grandpa was doing when he died, and they all come together in the end. So that's why I liked it, because it wasn't just romance. It was also a little bit of mystery that keeps you turning the pages. Because if it's just romance and there's not a whole lot of conflict, or there's just a little bit, I get bored. So I need a little bit of excitement. This gives me the excitement. It was good. I read it in just a few days. I will say it doesn't get better until you're about halfway through, because when you get halfway through, that's when you start to find out a little bit more about what's wrong with this girl. You get some more clues as to why this woman isn't committing to Trevor, and he gets further along his journey to figure out where his grandpa was going when he died. So the first half, a little slower. The second half, you'll make it through quicker just because it's a page turner. You want to see what happens. So The Return, I give it 4 out of 5 stars. I will say it was almost a 5-star book. If we had a little bit more clues and a little bit more mystery in the beginning, it might have been 5 out of 5 stars. If I did decimals, I would give it 4.5 out of 5 stars, but I don't want to get complicated. I hate numbers, so we're just going to keep it at the whole numbers. 4 out of 5, highly recommend it if you're a Nicholas Sparks fan, if you're a romance fan. You got to get The Return, and who knows, this will probably end up being a movie, so you want to read the book before you see the movie. So, The Return, it gets 4 out of 5 stars. If you are watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to this channel. I will do a book review for every book I read right after I read it. If you are listening on the podcast, the new podcast, Christina Reads All Day, thank you so much for listening. Please tap that subscribe button so you can get a notification every time I have a new book review. Most of these book reviews are going to be these kinds of books. They're going to be realistic fiction. They're going to have some romance, some suspense, some mystery. The current book that I'm reading right now is called The Woman in Cabin 10. This is a book by Ruth Ware. I have read another one by her, and she's fantastic. Lots of mystery, lots of suspense, so look forward to that. That is coming next. If her last book is any indication, I will read this one quickly and get a review up fast. If you have suggestions for me, please let me know on social media at Christina All Day. And again, these book reviews are newer. The podcast is new. Me doing these on YouTube is new. So if you want to see something that maybe I've read in the past, but there's not a podcast episode or a YouTube video for it, please let me know. I'm happy to record one. Although I do like to have the book handy so I can hold it and show it in my video and take a picture. A lot of the books that I read, I do check out from the library. So that could be a reason that I don't have some of those videos up and ready for you to go, just because I'm starting with what I'm currently reading and not what I read in the past. I also am listening to a book right now. I like to listen to my nonfictions while I'm on a walk. And that book that I'm listening to right now is The Meaning of Mariah Carey. And so far, so good. It is a nonfiction. Let me know if you're interested in hearing more about that, and I will do a book review. But for this one, The Return, 4 out of 5 stars. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And I will see you again very soon for my next book review.